Welcome, everybody, to another late in the week recording of Perpetual Backlog. This is episode 135. I'm your host, Aqua, and joining me, like always, is Dalit.
I lived.
He lived. He's back. And Leek.
I am persisting.
Persistent. Oh, man, that is
I'm just really sleepy.
That's a descriptor for somebody's life right now.
That's the absolute fucking mood.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're all persisting at the moment, existing, living. Yeah. Dalit.
Hey, what's
you
up?
go first because you had a vacation that you went on.
Yeah. Let me tell you, everyone took that word and really ran with it. So yeah, over the last week, I was back home. I had a lot of stuff to get done for the government. I had to get my belongers status so that when the worst finally happens to the rest of my family, I can inherit. It won't be fucking much, but it'll be mine, I guess. It might be debt, but that's neither here nor there. So that was 5 days of me in the Caribbean, in the most lovely place on earth, sweating bullets. Upside, one of those days was my birthday. Got together with my family, had a bunch of very unhealthy food, and went into the lovely Caribbean Bay. Bay. I live in the Bay. Lovely Caribbean Sea. I was in St. Thomas, went to Megan's Bay. It was delightful. And other than that, I was walking up and down to various places in the BVI and the VI, trying to get myself settled. And I should say that I didn't have much time for games and fun out there. But I've actually done a surprising amount of game playing since I've been back.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, decided to give Diablo another go. Let me tell you, this has been a really weird week for Diablo 4, at least for me. There was a maintenance, I believe it was yesterday. So that would have been the 28th, I think. The 27th. And prior to that maintenance, I was having the worst connectivity. Just constant rubber banding, full-on multi-second freezes. It was unplayable. I had all but resigned myself from playing that game until it got sorted. Turns out I just had to wait like 4 hours because once maintenance was over and I jumped back in just to see how it was, it's been pretty solid since then. I still run into the occasional rollback, but it's really not that bad. Now, the season itself is very meh at the moment, but I'm still early goings. I'm only level 30, which isn't really a true tell of the season. But I have to say, engaging with the content has been a little boring, if I'm honest. I look forward to future seasons, but especially after today, when watching the Path of Exile 2 trailer and dev walkthrough at ExileCon, that game looks spectacular. And as someone who doesn't play that game, I'm not going to say too much on it, because there could be a lot going on behind the scenes that people are probably unhappy about, like the idea of splitting that game from 1 into 2 live services going at the same time. Probably not a great idea. But I'm super down to try out that beta in a year.
Yeah, we'll have Zeke on some point to talk about that because he was messaging me while it was going on.
Yeah, I'd like to see like where PoE players' heads are going into this news, because I know he had a few worries about the game in general, and it's hard for me to get anything out of that when the devs are there essentially just flexing on stage. They were making it look real good, and I am susceptible to that kind of hype.
Yeah, he was he had some words about them going from building the game to be concurrent with Path of Exile 1, as in both games actually lead into the same end game. But they completely changed that apparently. So
I don't know. They are, as far as I can tell, they will be working as 2 separate games, but they're going to have seasons or leagues, I believe they're called in PoE, happening offset so that you can participate in both, as they want to be able to service both games. I think that is a optimistic plan. It's a very optimistic plan. That is not a case of if, but when it will fail, and PoE2 will just take over. Still,
Well,
I mean, maybe I'm just a cynic.
The original plan for apparently the original plan for PoE2 was there were going to be separate games or whatever. But when you hit endgame, they converged into one game.
That's really weird because I don't know how you would even.
I said the same
do
thing
that.
or whatever.
Are they gonna keep the free to play model?
So if that was touched on during the event, I blinked and missed it. I assume there will be no change and that they will just be two different games under the same model. There was a lot of talk about microtransactions and how they'll bridge both games. So I assume it will still be funded by the microtransaction systems they have in game currently. Other than that, lots of Star Rail stuff. I only bring this up despite it being gacha because new content came out and I had to get current. Oh boy, that was a fun little bit. Surprised we're not actually out of Xianshou, but you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hmm?
I'm not surprised, but
I am. I really thought that this would have just wrapped up that and we'd be moving on to the next big thing, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. It'll be fine. Other than that, I am continuing my playthrough of 12. This is not going to be like a real thing that I report on like weekly. It's just a case of it was something that was already downloaded when I got home and I needed to brain drain because that first day of me being back, I was not useful to anyone.
Travel does that, yeah.
Oh man, I swear I was better about this the last couple times, but this time I was wiped out getting on the plane and then getting off. I genuinely barely remember getting home. It was not fun. But yeah, those are the 3 games I really remember. I play other games, but like those are the 3 ones that I put actual time into.
Yeah, I played a ton of games actually. Wow.
Go on then, Wallace.
Okay, so I'll list them out first. I played Deceive Inc. I played Solasta again. I played Dredge. I messed around with Soul Calibur. Hoko Life because it's now replaced Stardew for a bit, and then I started Conan Exiles.
I did see that.
Unexpected last game, must be said.
I'll explain that last. All right, so yeah, Deceive Inc. I think I mentioned I did start playing that before.
You did.
Yeah. It's just I was actually just messing around with the solo play, see how different that was. It is a lot easier. Yeah, the solo. As in you solo queue.
Oh, that makes infinitely more sense to me.
Yeah, so you solo queue is a lot easier to get to stuff because there's less people to compete with, but at the same time, it's still very competitive. Yeah, that was fun. I don't know how long I'll play Deceive Inc. It's a lot better with people you know to play with, but
yeah, that makes sense.
I might get burnt out very soon. I think I have that feeling. I love Solasta. I will still probably play it when I get Baldur's Gate 3 because I imagine they're quite different. But
and Solasta, just for my sake, this was the very D&D inspired, like actually D&D.
Very D&D. Yeah. Heavily based on 5e. It has excellent little mechanics that you can use. The gameplay I love. The story, But I heard a lot about the first Crown and Magister story is a bit
fair.
And I'm still very, very about the voice acting. But what
that's a bit disappointing to hear.
Yeah, it is a bit. But the game is so fun to play. I don't mind. So that's what you like to hear, right? All right. Yes, I've been playing that. Hoko Life is just my own brain drain stuff. What I do before sleeps or whatever. Dredge, I'm impressed with. I very much like Dredge. It's very spooky, creepypasta. You fish, you fish, and try to work out the mystery of the surrounding area. There's a fishmonger that really, really, really wants you to sell him the creepy fish you sell. Really. And then he slowly becomes weirder and weirder. There's like after dark, when you're still out on your boat, mist creeps in, so you can barely see in front of you, even with the light. And then one night, my boat light literally just flickered out and broke. I was like, I have to creep forward, not to smash into rocks, because you can do that. And then I saw eyes appearing from the mist and coming closer and closer, and then the violins start shrieking, you know. I was like, nope. Back to the port.
All at 4.
Yep.
All power.
Really good. I like that a lot. I'm still early game. I've been asked to do the title drop, which is to dredge for stuff.
As the name implies.
Yeah. The mystery is there's like a couple have gone missing like a year prior or something, and then there's one mystery dude in a lighthouse. Oh no, a small secluded island that wants you to look for stuff, and he gives you the means to dredge and to give him any clues that you find. And then there's like other NPCs that want you to do stuff for them as well. So yeah, that's really fun. I like that a lot. What else I do play? I played Soul Calibur, just the fun fights and messing around with the character creator again, because it's about that time.
I still think it's never won award for being like the most popular fighting game of all time, but it's probably the best social fighting game. You can just do so much in it. Yes. It's really nice. It gives you so much to do. I still love Soul Calibur 3. What did you get up to this time around?
Well, I watched Sonic and Sonic 2, the movie, and then proceeded to fight as Sonic. Because, one of the weapons is a giant ring, right? You can make that bright gold.
Thank you, Tira. You caused this.
It was very fun. What else? Yeah, so Conan, I'll have to explain a little bit. I'm not playing it as you would do properly in an MMO. There's ones like streamer. There's a bunch of streamers actually. There's Kraken and Strippin and Dodger and stuff like that. They started role playing on their own Conan server with loads and loads of crazy mods, which you can completely modify your character however you please. And obviously, a lot of those guys ended up making monstrosities. Holy heck! What else? Yeah, so the community got together and made their own little server to play around in. So that's what I was doing. I made my D&D character, of course, and he has a farm. So I made a farm, and I'm working on the farm.
Is it the Goodest Boy?
He is the good. No, it's not Duck. It's another one called Podrick.
No, I remember Podrick. Yeah, he was Paladin.
Yes.
The one who...
No, that wasn't.
No?
That was Gregory.
House Gregory. I know Podrick. I know that name though.
Yeah, he's one of my most recent ones.
I mean,
that's probably what it is.
You know that name because of Game of Thrones.
No, well, that's Pod the Rod. That's different.
But his name is Podrick.
His name is Podrick.
Yes. He's not quite like Pod the Rod. Anyway, but no, he's a farm boy. But as in the other end of it, he's like the owner of the farm, not the person that just works the field. Yeah, so doing that, interesting. Role playing is fun, so yeah, it's very interesting. What else? I think that's it. Honestly,
Lee's gonna get in the GTA RP when
so on one hand, that's a very exciting week. On the other hand, or not on the other hand, but two, I really hope she does. I would love to hear those stories. GTA. I think those would be hilarious.
No, the one I want to get to is Red Dead. There's a big Red Dead community.
Oh yeah,
is there? I knew that they wanted to save it, but I hadn't heard anything since.
Red Dead roleplay community is not as big as GTA, of course, but it is there. I think the biggest one I've seen a lot of people playing is Wild RP. That's what they call it. Yeah. So like who does that? Kraken's done it before. There's Lawman and Joe Fudge and what's his name? Well, yeah. There's quite a few big streamers that do it.
That sounds exciting enough. Get to be a cow person.
Yeah.
Cow folk.
Yeah. I think recently Kraken did dysentery roleplay, so he was on the trail.
Oh no.
Was either him or Joe Fudge? I can't remember. But those fellas, they always do something weird.
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway,
Yep.
that was my week.
Exciting week.
Exciting week, yeah. Well, I too played video games this week.
Let's go.
Because that's what I do. I play video games. Obviously, Star Rail had its big ol' 1.2 drop, so that was cool. Got to see a character die. That's cool.
Meaningful
cool.
consequences.
Yeah. Well, I got a theory about that, but that's later. We got like 10 days until Kafka comes out or something like that. So, I'm gyrating in my chair.
Word choice, mate. Word choice. Not sure gyration was the word you were going for, but I'll allow it. We're excited.
The two big games that I played this week, since we're, I guess, talking about D&D stuff, I played a good bit of the early access for Baldur's Gate 3. That game is amazing.
Soon.
That game is amazing.
That's like 5 days. It comes out August 3rd officially, right?
Yeah.
Is it 5 days? Whatever. August 3rd.
Yeah.
I haven't bought it yet. I'm hoping on release they do some sort of sale. It's copium. I don't want to play. I don't want to pay nearly 9,000 yen. So
I mean, I would say probably most people that are going to be playing the game have already bought the game because it's been 2 years for early access. So it's been pretty good.
I'm hoping for launch day sale. I'm hoping.
Yeah. In those 2 years of early access, there's been an ass ton of mods for this game.
I am not surprised.
Oh yeah, of course.
There is a lot of mods. Me and Tara put in like we have like 37 mods put in to the game.
Okay, that's a lot of mods, mate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it adds races, adds classes, adds character custom.
Wait, what you mean it adds races? The game's not even out. I recognize it's been some time, but what do you mean it adds races?
Yeah, there's races that probably aren't even that won't be in Baldur's Gate 3 when it comes out or whatever, that people have already like modded into the game.
Interesting.
Some of the race people have made some Final Fantasy 14 races in there, so there's like Hyur, Hrothgar, or not Hrothgar, but
Hyur? What's the point of Hyur?
It's a good question. That
well, here. I mean, 14
just
has
a
their
bloke.
own. Well, 14 has
just a guy.
Yeah, 14 has their own D&D book or whatever. Or like somebody's made like
so they gave them their stats.
Right.
I see.
Yeah. There's Ellison and all that jazz in there. I mean, yeah, there was like 30 something races added in the mods that me and Tara had put in. A lot of mods. A lot of hairstyle choices that I'm going to be really sad when I play the main game, because those aren't going to be the base hairstyle choices that are in there. But Larian did say that they added a lot more, so we will see. Yeah, a lot of different classes were added in like mods wise. I mean, the game was just like, for the past 2 years, it's been like a playground for people to do stuff. You were only able to go to the end of Act 1, but the amount of content that's in Act 1 is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, given the reception that it's gotten and the fear that it has instilled in the rest of the industry, it seems that the cleanup work over the 2 years was, unlike in most cases, supremely worth it.
Yeah. Because, Larian had the best investors for this game. The players.
The role player, yeah.
The players invested in this game. That's like half of what early access was. It was them getting a bunch of money to keep funding the development for Baldur's Gate 3. Because they are their own publishing and development studio. They're not subjected to a bunch of like a council of third party investors that are sitting there poking and prodding them, telling them to come out with something.
That is
yeah.
true, and Larian's pedigree is probably not what a lot of people expect, but it's not as if it's bad. They did the Divinity games as well, yeah?
Yeah.
that's right.
This is their bread and butter.
Yeah, actually, they said like after Baldur's Gate 3, they're not going to jump into Divinity straight away because they need a break.
I bet. I enjoy the fear. I enjoy the fear that has been put into the gaming community by this studio. I hope it amounts to something. Because as great as it is having like these true diamonds in the space, it'd be nice if they actually did set a bar for quality.
Yeah. It's great. It's amazing. This game, this game runs like phenomenally well. I was playing it on ultra settings, and the game doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it's not taking resources, because I can tell you it is. But it runs like perfectly well in ultra settings. So, yeah, I'm excited. That game comes out August 3rd. Next week when we have Sly on, he will definitely be talking about that as well, because he is neck deep into waiting to play fucking Baldur's Gate 3. So,
nice.
The other game that I played, the Dark Souls shooter.
I'm sorry,
Remnant 2. Remnant 2.
Ah.
It's the shooter Dark Souls.
I do understand.
Oh, I
just
see.
Completely forgot about it.
The Dark Souls of FPS.
I heard
no, it's not
many
the Dark
people.
No.
Oh god,
that's different connotations.
Those curse words. Yeah, I heard a lot of things about this right before I well, not right before I started, but like in the past couple of weeks, people really going on about it, which is a little interesting that I never heard about Remnant until like a month ago when Mel was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, people seem to be really excited about it, and now that it's out, or at least people have gotten their hands on it, if it's not out, they seem to be well pleased with what's there.
Oh yeah, it's out. Remnant 1 had like more of like a cult following. Like I said, I didn't even know Remnant 1 existed. And I saw the Remnant 2 trailer, and I was like, there's a Remnant 1. So I had like a bit of it. It was a very underrated title. This game is apparently just Remnant 1, but a lot better. And this actually kind of goes into the same field as like Larian with Baldur's Gate. The studio that made this, they put a lot in this game. This game is ridiculous. It is by what I mean by Dark Souls shooter is that it functions pretty much like a Souls-like, but with guns. So you have that, but on the flip side of that, it's also a roguelike. So and it's not like a roguelike to where like you die and it resets everything, but it's more in like the Souls aspect where you die and you go back to like your bonfire. It's more of a roguelike that you go in and you can reset progress in areas, and a lot of the areas are like procedurally generated. And it does have a story, but like when you go through the story, you could and I don't think it's possible to fight all the bosses in one playthrough. So one playthrough you'll miss out on like half of the bosses or whatever, and like some of the bosses you'll have to like go through like on adventure mode, which is like which is where you pick a specific like planet or like a world that you go to, and it procedurally generates what section you actually go through it.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
Yeah, and the game is set up to like you have classes, which they call our archetypes, and there's like a base 4 archetypes that you get. Base 4 archetypes. There's a fifth one you can have at the start if you pre-ordered the game or pre-ordered like the Ultimate Edition or whatever. But that one you can get it later on in the game, like at some point in time. But you could have it in the beginning if you did that. And then there are a bunch of other like archetypes that you can get. I think there's an archetype per world that you can get, and there's like four or five or six worlds that you go to. So there's like 6 other archetypes that you get, and then it works as like a main class subclass system where you have your main archetype and you can equip a sub archetype, which you gain pretty much every benefit of having that second archetype, except for like the prime like perk of that archetype. So like there's like a shit ton of customization in there. There's like a whole weird slew of like weapons and like modifications for these weapons and like mutations for these weapons as well. There's a lot of shit in this game. And it makes sense because it took I wouldn't say Gearbox. Gearbox is the publisher for it, but Gunfire Games. They're developers for it. It took them a while to make this game, if I recall correctly. Because I forget when Remnant 1 came out. This game's good. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm like, story-wise, I'm at the final boss. But that final boss is ridiculous.
And now begins the grind.
So, now like like Tara and I were playing earlier today. We're just like going through like adventure mode, which like I said, like allows you to reset like certain areas of the game. And you just go through and you either like collect a bunch of materials to upgrade your weapons or whatever, or you can find like weapons or like run into bosses that you never fought and get like their drops from it and all that stuff. That game's really good. That game's also really hard. Yeah. I mean, there's not much I can actually say without like other than telling people to play the game because it's really good.
Yeah, I've seen a few streamers.
The base game is $50. It's not even priced as a full price game.
Oh.
So. What if I told you, and this might be the worst take in the industry, that that's where the price should be?
Yes, games should be cheaper, but.
But yeah, I'm happy to see it's there. There's so many games I want to pick up. Like I do want to pick up Baldur's Gate. I am more than passingly interested in Remnant. So like, just lots of stuff to add to the old list. That backlog of games to buy, much less play, gets bigger.
The archetype that I picked at the beginning of the game gives me a dog, and you can pet the dog.
Damn right.
Important.
Game of the year.
And the dog does the dog is literally a Final Fantasy XIV player. He can tank, he can heal, and he can attack.
Poochie of Light.
So it's the class that you like would probably like pick first if you're like soloing the game. Because,
makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know, it's really fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm pretty like when Tara and Melody were like, "Hey, you want to play Remnant too?" I was like, I guess, but yeah, no, it's pretty fun. Definitely recommend playing it. Runs. There is some jank with PC. It does take a lot of resources that I've noticed. It's like takes like 70% of my memory. Which is a decent bit. CPU wise, fine. There's some like performance hitching in some places, but other than that, it usually runs at like a stable like 60 most of the time. And I guess like some of the stuff might get fixed with like patches later on down the line. And I from what I hear, they will be doing DLC for the game. So
that sounds good. I I appreciate them charging low and just continuing to support and making their money with expansions or at least chunky DLCs.
There's so many secrets in this game. There are so many secrets in this game that that one specific secret for this game spawned a sub Discord where literally they were just trying to figure out a way to open up this door.
Ah, yes, very good.
And today as of like July 28th technically, that secret was found. All right? And you have to wear very specific armor, have very specific archetypes, have very specific like gear on just to be able to open up this door. All right? Since Tara's a fucking nerd and she played this game for like 70 hours already. She already had everything set up and we went into this door. You know what this door brings you into?
You're down?
No. The back rooms.
Oh,
What?
shit. Okay.
The VR back rooms. It brings you into the VR back rooms.
Does it?
Yes.
Well, that's creepy. Love to hear it.
And you have a limited amount of time in there or whatever, but you can keep going in there. And there are items in there that you pick up.
Are you hunted by something in there?
No. There is a very large sound that like there's a very loud sound that like builds up or whatever towards the end, and then you're kicked out.
All right, fair enough. Slip back out.
Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now.
Yeah. Yeah. I popped in there and I was like, the fucking back rooms? What the fuck? Yeah. So that was there, and like there's just so much shit. Like me and Tara were trying to look for this specific boss earlier today, but we couldn't figure out like we couldn't figure out which seed of this certain world, and we needed to go into to get it or to be able to go through it. We did have a quest that we picked up to like do some like council to help an investigation with the Fae Council or whatever, and you're trying to figure out who like pretty much murdered the one true Fae King.
Wait. All right, I'm in. I love Fae shenanigans.
Yeah. There's a world in here that brings you to the Fae world.
All right, this has just become Dresden File with guns. Love it.
and you have to find this assassin's dagger, but you can do some other things with this assassin's dagger or whatever that we realize, because there's a character in the game that you can trade items to that will give you like a weapon or something like that. And unfortunately, we didn't realize that we needed to actually inspect the dagger first to go along with the quest that we were on, and we traded the dagger in for this weapon, so we couldn't complete the quest. So I have to go back out and reset the I have to reset it until it gives me the same seed or whatever. So we can go back in and go back in and go through and actually complete the quest. Because there should be a boss for that fight. For that quest, hopefully, maybe. But I don't think it's the boss that we're looking for. Anyway, Remnant 2, really good. And like I said, it's only $50, and you could probably find it somewhere cheaper, like Green Man Gaming. When Green Man Gaming was before it came out, I got the Ultimate Edition for under $60. So, and the Ultimate Edition was like, the Ultimate Edition was like 70. So, yeah, if you could you could probably Green Man Gaming it and get it for even less than 50. So, that is me. I did not play any other games this week. Yeah. That is all.
Okay.
Nothing from Little. this week, so we can go straight into the news. It's a slightly long list. I wouldn't say long list, but it's a medium length list of news this week. The first is that Thancred is actually Chad Kroger, and he's telling you to look at this photograph. No, first. So we have like a little Xbox corner going through. Xbox Live Gold. It's going to be rolled into Game Pass. We call it Xbox Game Pass Core. It's going to be the same price, and it will include 25 Game Pass titles. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it took them this long to do this.
Yeah, genuinely, the biggest surprise was that it hadn't already happened. Correct.
Yeah. So that's good. It's also good that they're keeping it the same price and that you get 25 Game Pass titles. So like, congrats Xbox guys. You I think the downside to this, you don't get games with gold anymore. But I guess the 25 Game Pass titles is to
I was gonna say it is kind of
counteract
offset.
that. Yeah.
So how's it changing exactly?
Nothing. You just instead of going through instead of buying Xbox Live, you just buy Game Pass.
Right.
Game
Gotcha.
Pass Core.
Okay. So it's streamlining it basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
This will just be for people that need to that want to play online with Xbox. Whatever.
Yes.
So you need Xbox Gold, you get the Xbox Live Gold. Because you were already doubling up if you were buying Game Pass as well. So so it doesn't really actually change anything. They were just pushing it into Game Pass. Dallas' favorite game is coming to Steam. Right?
I'm sorry. Oh goodness!
Your favorite game is coming to Steam.
So given the merger we've had in recent years with Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, they have finally started rolling out more of their games off of Battle.net to the wider audience, Steam in this case, and it's Overwatch 2, which, I mean, it makes sense. It's a good shout. God, fuck that game at this point. I tried to like you. I gave you all the benefits of the doubt, and what did you do? You bit me. And you know what? Once bitten, twice shy. So go fuck yourselves.
You know something? I'm Dalit and I do corny lines.
Now, my question is, because other games have done this too. For example, Red Dead Redemption Online, it's on Steam, but if you download and try to play, you still have to use the Rockstar Game Launcher. Will Overwatch 2 require you to have the Battle.net?
Battle.net. I think the reporting is no. I think it's just you'll just be connected to Overwatch servers. I'm sure if it will require you to have Battle.net, we will hear about it.
Okay, so insofar as I'm aware, you will not need Battle.net to play Overwatch 2, obviously, since that would negate the whole purpose of having it on Steam. But you will need a Battle.net account, obviously, to sign in, because when Overwatch 2 was created, all profiles were slammed together into one. So it merged all your profiles, whether it be on Xbox, or I guess it wasn't on Xbox, on PlayStation and PC, into one. This will continue that, but no, you won't need the launcher, just your information.
And I'm assuming for folks who want to just clear up their PC, if they've already used Overwatch and stuff on Battle.net, they can't transfer saves to the Steam version?
No, this is what's important. By having that Battle.net account, when you sign into Steam, everything should transfer over. It's the whole. It was one of the big purposes of Overwatch 2.
Good. So. Okay. I have to ask the questions, for the peoples.
You're right. I've played, so these are questions I hadn't even thought about because, makes sense to me. But yeah, no, all these were answered. It plays directly through Steam, and will continue using your pre-established login credentials. So everything you've everything you have purchased, you still have.
Hooray!
Here's to hoping they don't make me a liar.
Oh, because could you imagine they've already fucked up with the cosmetics and microtransactions?
Oh yeah, no. Overwatch 2 was a game I gave a lot of rope because there's no reason it should fail, and it just hung me with it.
Yeah.
But I do know for a fact that it will play directly through Steam. That's the one thing that I've seen Mike Ibarra say very specifically.
Yeah.
And if it plays through Steam, one of two things is going to happen. Either you're starting on a fresh account, which would be ludicrous and undermine most of the reason why their 2 is under that name, given that, it's not PvE. So, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't make people pay again. Oh my god.
Oh, goodness. I mean, there's only so much. Oh no. Oh, at least the game's free.
Yeah.
That was like in process of giving benefit of the doubt, and then you're like, oh wait, this is Blizzard we're talking about here. Never mind.
Just
Yeah.
look, like there's a good game there, and it's just absolutely mangled by how it's been handled.
Yeah. Okay, so
Welcome to
what's
Blizzard.
next? So like so what's next? So like Diablo 4? WoW? On Steam?
So Diablo was like my shout. It makes like WoW. I don't suspect is that like that's their baby. I imagine until you get the WoW upgrade or WoW 2 or whatever they're going to do, that'll always just stay where it is. But I do suspect we'll see Diablo come over. I suspect we will see. God, what else is Blizzard even freaking working on?
mean-
Call of Duty should pop up at some point.
Hearthstone.
Yeah, there's no reason why Hearthstone won't pop it. I mean, it's a very popular card game. I don't see the reason why they wouldn't want to get more people into it. I hear those card packs sell as well.
Yep, they do. Yep. My two friends that play it, they only play the auto chess portion of the game. Which
I tried
is
that
fun.
with League for a while, but I eventually fell off of that.
Yeah.
I find that auto chess is pretty fun for like a brain off type of thing.
Mm-hmm. You know that, man. You need brain on for that stuff, man.
Only kind of.
There's
Only
a
if you
lot of
want to
thinking
place
with that.
like. Only if you want to place first. You can brute force a lot of like the earlier bits of that, if I'm honest. But like other games to consider, I don't know if it's already on, but Crash could come over. Bloody, like I said, Call of Duty. I wonder if we'll see Candy Crush pop over.
Is Candy Crush even through BattleNet?
No, I think Candy Crush is its own thing. It's because that's King. It's a King mobile title.
Yeah, then probably not.
It's entirely possible. It could just be. It could just be that they're doing the Battle.net stuff. I assume they would look at their whole suite of games, but
No, Call of
who's to
Duty's
say?
already on
It is. Yes. Okay.
Steam. At least Modern Warfare 2 is. I don't know. Maybe what is it? Their fucking VR. Maybe come over. Warzone.
Put Tony Hawk on, please. Please
Yeah.
put Tony Hawk on. My nostalgia compels me. No, surely that's like the next thing that's going on. Even before Diablo, surely it's 1 and 2, right?
Maybe.
Blizzard, listen to me. Easy money. I'm saying easy
Easy.
money.
Dollar will open his wallet.
Not right now, but eventually I will. Like that's a guarantee me pick up in the next year.
And lastly, in our little Xbox Blizzard corner, the FTC is suspending its in-house investigation into the Activision Blizzard King acquisition, and Microsoft is got an extension for their deadline to sign over on the merger to October. I forget what the date is in October, but it is in October now, and that's most likely to deal with the changes that they need to go through for the CMA.
I'm inclined to agree. I'm curious what the FTC saw that kind of spooked them off. They seem to be willing to drag that on as long as possible. But it did seem at this point like a losing fight, so maybe it's just a case of not wasting people's time and money.
Nah, I'm telling you, man. As we saw today, Phil Spencer's probably just carrying around a duffel bag of cash and just being like, "Here, man, just fucking leave us alone."
Oh yeah, and we'll get to that. Oh boy.
Tekken 8 started their closed network testing this past week.
I wanna play. So we've known about this for a little while. Before this, they were doing on-site demos.
Mhm.
So this is just a lot of good feedback. I have absolutely gone on my way to see how Brian is playing because that's who I ended up playing a lot of at the end of Tekken 7. Well, it's currently the end. Here at the end of Tekken 7. But I will remind everyone, Lily is adorable in Tekken 8, and her actress is so much better. I could listen to her speak in this language I cannot understand forever.
Yeah. I mean, all right, man. They're doing the network testing now, but it means it's soon, right? It's soon.
No, it does not actually. Especially now when it comes to Tekken. Remember that these games, well, Tekken specifically, used to come out in arcade mode first, but it has already been said that there will be no arcade cabinet for Tekken 8 at release. So those years of testing that they had in the arcades won't be a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see several closed and open betas so that they can kind of even out their system now that they've lost a method of testing.
Yeah.
I would assume this would be the switch to the more modern method of testing. I still think, and I'm growing more and more confident each month that passes, that this is probably a first quarter 2024 release. I do not think
okay.
this is going to be a 2023 release anymore.
It does look good. They did release a new character trailer, right? It's Claudio. Did you see that?
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about it. Sorry, Claudia's a character that I'm utterly uninterested in.
I know. I was like, immediately when I saw it, I was like, okay, what is he?
Yeah.
Bullfighter? I don't know.
He's Italian. Because there is a Spaniard in this game.
I see. Oh yeah, what's his name? Yeah.
Miguel.
Miguel.
Yeah. Good old Michael. Oh god.
That was right. No, he was like, is he the Pope? That's what I thought. Is he the Pope?
He's not the Pope. You called him into an exorcist. There we go.
Yeah, that's it. As soon as he said that,
so
is he
weird.
the Pope? No, because I was watching a TV series called Evil, and it's all about exorcists going on trying to basically defeat people.
Yeah, there you go. So that it already ended. Oh god, I guess I wasn't here when all this was going down, so I'm just catching up on all the videos. But yeah, that was the closed network test. I would suspect we would see at least 2 more network tests. And
sign up.
Yeah, and absolutely will. There were plenty of characters. Game looks great. God, it looks so good. Tekken 7 was old when it released. Like, it was already so old when it released.
And it was
this
2
is
years
such
on
a
a
step
cabinet,
forward.
man.
Yeah, and this just has it's so pretty. I'm not even worried about balance yet. We're not going to worry about that at this point. I'm just happy it's real. Though that said, the pressure I've seen from Jin and Kazuya has been a lot.
I mean, they are Mishimas,
Just
so
my goodness, just pressure. Which is true. I mean, that is absolutely true. They're Mishimas. It's literally their job. Run those 50-50s, boys.
yeah. So Leek's favorite mobile game goes rip.
I'm so sorry. He didn't mean
mobile suit. Yeah. No, yeah, Gundam Evolution is getting closed down. Yes, unfortunately. Actually, honestly, I think most people saw this coming. Upon release, it had things, but it wasn't. I mean, it was very repetitive, the gameplay and stuff, and as easy as it was to get in, it was also very difficult to secure consistency in wins. Because it was either you get trounced or you smash the other team. There was no in between.
That's absolutely the case.
And
Gundam from
also,
day one had like a
yeah.
host of issues.
Yeah, and also one thing that really hit the player base was how stingy the monetization battle pass was. Yep. Also, the Gundam choices were not always like they were very bizarre, like really obscure sometimes.
This is true. Like, so Gundam Evolution has a lot of issues. Like, we could talk about the matchmaking which plagued this game in ranked and unranked. We can talk about that battle pass, but for me, I am most baffled by the fact that they didn't just do the logical thing and put in a bunch of fan favorites so that if nothing else, people could enjoy zooming around as the mobile suits that they wanted to.
Yeah.
And yeah, these were really bizarre choices.
Yeah, and yeah, they not only they were bizarre, but they also made them really difficult to get. You had to pay money to get some of them, or just really wait till like level 50 on the battle pass.
Yeah.
Really fucking annoying. Yeah.
The initial cast of suits was, well, I mean, I think that's where most of the bizarre choices were. You had like the ones you would expect: the gym sniper, just the gym. I can't remember.
Like
Was
melee
the-
Zaku and stuff like that, right?
I'm
Was one of the ones that were locked.
Yeah, and there was a lot of power behind that which was locked. It seemed like the game was balanced well around the initial suits. Like the Dom didn't feel overpowered, the Suzabi didn't feel too overpowered. Maybe what was the IBO suit? I'm blanking on its name at the moment. That suit was a bit rough at start, but they figured it out. But once you got into the Battle Pass suits, they were all exceptionally powerful. Exia, Unicorn. I believe that's where the melee Zaku was, and that was a room clearer for the longest time.
Yeah.
And it just didn't seem to get any better before I just noped out and just went back to Overwatch. But like,
Yeah.
I would have liked to see this game do well. I think it looks really good.
Mm-hmm. It was like desaturated a bit because it was very grey.
Yeah, it felt a bit washed out, but
Yeah. Otherwise, yes.
I think this game had a future if they just handled it better. If they put in the right suits and they better balanced. Honestly, not even just the units so much as matchmaking. I think this game had a future. But
yeah,
Gundam games just have this weird thing where they just have no longevity in them.
it's so. But yeah, I like so they released a remote roadmap because the end of service is December. And current roadmap is they'll end the Evo coin sale. Oh yeah, it had loads of different currencies which were annoying as well.
That's true.
Yeah, that they'll end the Evo coin sale this month. I think by now it's already ended. They'll end the pod limited sales and also the other types of pods and tickets. They'll have season 5 and then the season 5 Game Pass, and they'll do balance adjustments. Some people saw that they're going to boost melee Zaku just for fun, something ridiculous like that. And then, like in September, there'll be another season, and at that time, they'll also suspend premium season passes and so on, and level up purchases. They'll add a new Gundam unit called Z Gundam, and they'll also add a new map called Ironworks. It'll be a domination type map, and then they'll also add a large facility, which is a conveyance points capture. Then in November they'll have the final season and the pass, and also add the camphor unit.
Oh shit! That was one of the units I said they should add.
Yeah, at the end where it'll be too late, but adding it. And then they'll have one final map called the Space Fortress. They should have done this earlier.
Here's my really, really sad assumption. These last couple seasons are going to be the absolute best now that we've gotten a lot of nonsense out of the way.
Yeah.
People are going to flock to play it just because they want to see the novelty of it. It's going to do really well, and then it's going to be gone because no amount of positive feedback is going to save this game at this point.
Yeah.
I am a little miffed that the Camphor is the last one that's going to come out before they axe this game. That was one of the units on my short list. Like right behind the Goof and
Yeah.
like yeah. So
It's
that's
silly, isn't it?
I'm sad.
Yeah, it's silly. Like they clearly kept some in their pocket because they were thinking, oh, if we do it long term, if we have all the ones they want long term, they'll come back and blah blah blah. No, you should
What are
really
the
have
two
spread.
units you launch at the end of life? You launch
Yeah,
the Camphor, which is fair enough. I wanted it. I don't know how many other people wanted it. And Zeta
too late
Gundam.
though. It's too
Goodness
late though.
gracious.
Yeah,
I think they went in too hard on. I can't even say esport this time around. They went
Yeah.
too hard in on a like free to play live service, get all your money back type of thing. What they needed to do was sell this game for $30 and have a less aggressive monetization and
Yeah.
see where their player base was actually at. Like having that upfront price would have allowed them to recoup something at the start. Having it low enough would have allowed all the people that picked it up probably to pick it up anyway because it's a nice low price.
hmm
And then you could have figured out like what can we do realistically. And again, this goes back. Sorry, again, the other side of this is what we said already. The cast needed to be stronger. Like this, I don't mind some of these out of the way mobile suits, but for people who watch way more casually than even me, I don't know what you wanted from them. Like people just want to play as their favorites, and you gave them so little choice.
Yeah. I'm just pissed they also had a space map at the end too.
At the end, yeah, naturally.
I wanted to play in space. Like there's like it's a mission, blah blah blah. The other one, the other Gundam game.
Oh, GBO?
Yeah, that you can play in space from the get go.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
find that really boring, that game. I tried to love it, but it was really boring for me. But they had the space map, and that was really fun to just zip around. I liked that a lot, but it's too late. Do you know how many battles ended up in space in Gundam? Why?
I mean, like, there's plenty of units that you can do like Lampas, and GBO 2 does that well in theory. It's another weird game, but at least that one's still going, I guess.
I mean, it just got out. But yeah, boo.
Yeah, that's just. I would love to see what like the actual space stage was like.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be really cool.
Well, god damn. Gundam. Anyway.
Gun damn it!
God damn it. God, that's it. God damn it.
Someone quick, slap Camille.
What was it all for?
Well, so as we saw, and as we knew, Dolphin Emulator will not be coming to Steam.
I'm shocked. Do we need to even spell out why this was never going to happen?
No. I mean, I'm not surprised it never happened. Mainly just because of Nintendo money or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though there's really nothing illegal.
The only thing that made it dodgy was the Wii stuff. Like if they did, apparently we were going to emulate Wii things, and that's like apparently the dev stuff behind that was the thing that got them. If they stayed away from that, they think they would have been okay.
I think this was always a doomed idea.
Yeah,
I think Nintendo was going to make this a nightmare and not even worth going through with it because they were going to put pressure on the devs, and then of course they were going to put pressure on Steam, and Steam can fight back, but I don't know that Gabe wants that fight, if I'm honest.
No, okay, that's fair enough.
And I mean, there's no real reason for it to be on Steam. You can just still download Dolphin Emulator anywhere. So I mean,
the only logic I can think of is this allows for a level of safety when using this, because then because everything has to be validated on Steam's end as well. But yeah, honestly, this is a tried and true service, so just go through all the official routes and you'll be fine.
Yep. Just something here.
So long and thanks for all the fish.
because it makes more sense. So this week we got PS5 Pro details leaked. Nothing too big. Other than the person that leaked it also leaked the Project Q thing for Sony, so they're a reliable leaker when it comes to this. The code name is Trinity. It's been in development since early 2022. The dev kits for it will be going out in November. It has 30 WGP and 18,000 MTS memory. I don't know what that means. But that's cool. Accelerated ray tracing. That was the obvious thing because people fucking love ray tracing. And it's targeted for next November.
Okay.
2000.
Just in time for next
November.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Next Christmas.
this all checks out. I mean, it's been a couple of years since the initial release, no matter how slow that initial release was. They were always going to have a more powerful mid-generation upgrade. Though it's weird to think about this as a mid-generation situation. And naturally it's going to be more powerful. I'll be interested in seeing the actual kit because it never looks the same. So I'll be interested to see if they have like a better or a worse cooling situation.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that because before the current generation was released, the people worried about the cooling and the fans and stuff like that. How have they been?
I would also be interested in knowing if they tackled the horizontal versus vertical setup. Because as small as that is, and it is a small thing, people are unhappy with the horizontal setup. I've always had mine vertical because it's not flat, right? Yeah. So I wonder if they've just found a way to, be normal and allow people to put it on its side.
I have mine standing up as well.
It's just, I mean, it's fine. It's as big as an air purifier, sure, but
yeah,
it fits on the desk.
Setokaiba tower, so
yes,
it just looks like Setokaiba until I change the plates to something else that isn't white. So
that's something I want to do down the line. I want to put on like the old PS1 gray plates on it.
No, has anyone made it look like a burger yet?
Oh, they've done it. Yeah. They have like a bright brown on the outside, and they've got one of those vinyl strips to go up the middle that just looks like meat and cheese and veg.
Yeah.
Enjoying the video? Remember to like and sub. Helps out the channel a bunch, and we're grateful for everyone we get.
So yeah, that's we'll hear about that more once I guess dev kits go out and everything. There was an article about a Ubisoft sending emails, or a email stating that they would be deleting somebody's account due to inactivity. This sparked up a huge thing, thinking that Ubisoft is just gonna start deleting accounts for maybe 2 years of inactivity, even if you have games on it. But Ubisoft responded and said that they would not be deleting accounts that had games purchased on them. My question to that is, what do they consider games purchased to them? Do they consider games that were purchased through the Uplay, or do they consider games that are just on an account? Because
I would have to assume it's games on the account, because if you first of all, assuming this is even true, which I have my doubts about, but let's say it was. Let's say that they were to put a time limit on it if you had a game purchased on your account. How do they tell if it was purchased? And even if it wasn't purchased through Ubisoft, does that make it any less wrong to suddenly delete the account?
Well, the thing that they would be able to tell is if you had any purchase history on your account.
Sure. But again, does that somehow make it more viable that they're somehow now allowed to remove a bunch
I'm thinking about how Ubisoft would be fucky with us. So
I mean, again, I think that this is a giant misunderstanding. I saw this when I was away, and I didn't It didn't seem correct. Matter of fact, I didn't even know about Blizzard having a 2-year activity thing until you told me.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's like specifically 2 years or whatever, but
yeah,
but they don't delete your account. They just lock it, and you just have to go through a process of unlocking your account.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think this was ever a thing. I think this is a giant troll. I'm certainly willing to be wrong about this because, troll or not, this does sound like something Ubisoft would do, and Ubisoft has dug their own grave with their reputation on this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exactly the question that I asked you when I got back. Like, I saw this while I was away. It's just based on one person's email, right? It's entirely possible this was a troll that said something that was, frankly, entirely reasonable, given Ubisoft's reputation, but unverifiable at the moment because we don't have receipts.
Who knows? But I highly doubt Ubisoft is going to actually be deleting anybody's account. I mean, they literally just said they're not going to delete people's accounts that have games purchased on them. So, I mean, that's good.
Ubisoft, keep yourself in good graces. Keep that stock price high so you can sell.
Yeah. So 16 sold 3 million copies in its first week. That's good considering the install base of the PS5. And people have already went through like the whole math and seeing if it was any better or worse than Final Fantasy 15 and everything like that. It's a whole thing. But surprisingly, Square didn't have a giant like thing saying, "Oh my god, we expected this game to do so much better and it didn't do so much better." No, they actually were happy with the sales that 16 got.
Hey, for once, they set an expectation that was reasonable because 3 million. If they had told me 3 million was a failure, I would have lost my fucking mind.
Really?
Nah, I mean, it was
that game did exactly what it needed to do.
Yeah. Did it make a profit? Yes. Okay, good. That's it. Then look at the numbers.
I'd question if it made a profit, considering probably how much money actually went into it. But then you also have to think about how much fucking PlayStation probably paid them for their exclusivity.
Yeah. Well, it's not. It's only on PlayStation right now too, as well. So once it hits the other platforms.
Let's see.
Do you think? Do you think with this new Xbox thing with? Oh, you'll find out later soon. People. Well, do you think it'll be on Xbox as well?
Oh, absolutely,
maybe?
yes.
Maybe.
I think it might take. I think, well, not it might. It's definitely going to take some time, but yeah, I think this absolutely ends up on Xbox. I think Phil will fucking climb any mountain he has to get it there.
If you put the baseline at 200, if you put the baseline at 3 million copies sold at $70, that would equal around $210 million. That's probably a give or take. Some people might have refunded. Some people might have bought.
Do these count digital downloads as well? Because I know this tend to be a little bit rougher to track.
Yes, I think it counts digital. Obviously, this game didn't do as well as it people would like. It didn't do very well in Japan. Period.
Right, that was a surprise. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a surprise. This game was definitely marketed to a Western audience, and the Japanese don't like. I guess they didn't like the whole Game of Thrones aspect of it.
Maybe. I think it's always going to be a surprise when the Final Fantasy doesn't sell well in Japan, though. I think that that is just a true statement, but maybe I'm just weirdly optimistic on that.
Not enough anime, man. Not enough anime in it. This brings us to our last thing. Today, specifically, Final Fantasy XIV Fan Festival started. Normally, I would have went, but I didn't get a ticket into going, so I didn't go, unfortunately. So
I would love to have been there.
Yeah.
Well, Actually, there's a couple reasons I'm happy I missed it, but also
it's too fucking hot.
that is absolutely the reason.
But at every fan fest that they do, they announce an expansion, and they announced an expansion this time as well. It's called Dawn Trail. There's a trailer out for it. Obviously it's only part of the full trailer that is out. Full trailer will be released sometime in October for the London Fan Festival. The main character, Meteor, definitely looks like he's a Corsair.
Yeah, seriously. The Pirates of the Caribbean theme tune was like buzzing through my head when I saw it.
Yes, 100%. I can't wait for all the edits.
True.
Also, you mentioned that he was still in the Paladin. I don't think that's true.
No. If you read the chat, me and Matt already went over that. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I missed that.
He wasn't in the Paladin. It just went by so fast that it kind of looked like armor. But no, he was.
I'm waiting for like when that scene gets played in full and that burns off, and you see him in his Will Turner outfit. He just pulls out a goddamn hand cannon.
Yeah.
And you have the full Corsair look.
And he puts on the hat. Yeah.
Yes. Also, I think the biggest thing I've seen, at least on my Twitter, is the
thirst.
All the thirst for Meteor. People were mentioning how handsome he was in Shadowbringers and Endwalker, but the absolute thirst over Will Turner Meteor has been very impressive.
Yeah. So that's pretty good. I mean, it only showed him with the sword. But due to some closer inspection, it looks like he does have a holster. So there is a good chance. I mean, we don't know if it'll be called Corsair, but it's pretty much Corsair.
It seems like the spiritual pirate themed gun and sword user we were kind of looking forward to way back in 1.0 with the Corsair Guild. So
yeah, they did announce there'd be 2 new jobs, which was actually surprising for me. I thought they would knock it down to 1.
Same.
We're going back to Stormblood here. It's it's 2 DPS. So a lot of people, we might run into the same issue that we did in Stormblood, where everybody was like,
well, will we? You are forgetting that there's a mechanic in game that was not there before. You can choose to run dungeons with NPCs now.
Oh yeah, this is true.
Which, if you're against that, then yeah, the queues might be a bit rough. But I think there will be a lot of that shouldered by this system. By the
there's also people that will just drop the game because there isn't either a new tank or a healer, because not a lot of people while a lot of people play DPS, there are a few certain amount of people that if they don't really see anything new for them, they will probably drop the game, because that was like one of the other issues with Stormblood, is that it did after like the main patch came out or whatever, the drop in player base was actually pretty big.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'll genuinely be interested to see, because this expansion has a lot riding on it.
Yeah.
This is a brand new arc, and this FanFest didn't need to do it, but by JP FanFest, they will need to have given people reason to come back. People have served their 10 years, their story is over. This needs to have a reason to not miss it. And honestly, I love the way it looks, and if it's Corsair, I'm gonna want to play around with the Corsair. But a summery look may not have actually been the right vibe, but that's still yet to be seen. Personally, I love all the 10-isms now that Yoshida-san has come out and said no Blitzball.
No. He said no Blitzball.
6.0, it gives me hope that there will continue to be no Blitzball in 7.
Yeah, so we get the whole, is it New World they call it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Does it have its own name?
Going to Brazil. Yeah, it's
we are actually going to Brazil.
It's actually the city that we're first going to, I think, is Yucatol. but I forget what the actual like continent's called.
Yeah, I like all the South American, like ancient South American vibes. That's
It was
interesting.
super cool, yeah.
Yeah.
We got a taste of it before in Heaven's Word, and it was perhaps not the greatest taste we could have gotten.
Yeah.
I actually tell a lie. We've actually had it since Wondrous Palace. I get it was a normal job, but
yeah, we get to meet new groups of people, which is interesting.
yeah.
Erenville is coming along as a NPC.
Yeah, the two
I like
that they
it.
the two that they named in particular.
Because he's from the New World.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
Yeah, in the most recent patch when he talked to him, he talks about him because I haven't played it, but I heard it from like Hap Stream or whatever. He talks about how he's about to go back to the New World. That's where he's from. And so I guess in the story we're just like, yeah, well, fuck it, we'll hitch a ride with you.
You likey.
All the Scions are going there. Grahatia eats a big fat taco.
I love that
Taco
they keep
cat.
in this thing since that bloody burger. They just want to feed Graha.
Hey, he was asleep for a long time in that tower. He still has an appetite.
It's so funny.
He gets to be our meme cat. He gets the hash cheeseburger. He gets the hash taco.
Yep.
Yoshi P was wearing a TMNT shirt to.
I have no idea what it means.
I have no idea. Like, there's a lot people. People are singing Pictomancer.
No, I still actually think Beastmaster is going to be the thing, only because of the peoples that live there as well. They get up and stuff.
I also think it's going to be Beastmaster.
I think it's Beastmaster because yes, they're ninjas, but what are they? Also, they're animal people. What has animals? Beastmaster. I'm reaching. Yes.
I mean, everything's a reach. Like, this is by far the most difficult one we've seen. Though I did hear someone mention that one of the original writers for TMNT was something be almost master or like be Eastman or something.
Really?
So like Beast is like, all right, if that's true, then maybe it is Beastmaster.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. That's my idea. Unless it's just pointing out the pizza and we get pizza, not just tacos.
No, yeah.
I liked my idea of the caster being a masked hockey player that just slaps pucks at people. In the Casey Jones class, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, Casey Jones, yeah.
Also, this expansion is very giving us what is that, Road to El Dorado vibes or whatever. So,
yes, excellent stuff.
There is definitely, I guarantee you, because of Koji, there will be some Road to El Dorado puns.
All right, boy brain moment. If you're going to do that, I will require you to make a shell.
Yeah.
Please give us a character with actual meat on their bones. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying you have to.
They're gonna give us the butt slider, man.
The hip Tulio. The
butt slider.
Add more.
They got the graphical update coming, and it's gonna give us the butt slider, man. Oh, 2 dice. We get 2 dice
for the
per armor?
We are slowly but surely becoming a reasonable glamour system.
Yes, 2 dies, and also the eyepiece and the headpiece will be separate.
Oh yeah, glasses with a headpiece, man. Man, it's been 10 years.
That's why we sacrifice belts. That's why we sacrifice belts for the glasses.
Was were the Hrothgar always able to wear that headpiece?
I don't know.
I think for yeah,
because that headpiece is kind of different. Yeah,
I think Hrothgars were able to wear summoner dongs. I think they wouldn't have gotten away with not letting them wear that because summoners are a bit
the horn is actually iconic.
Yeah, the summoners are actually kind of like really, really crazy over the dong.
Yeah, because you've got to, you can't, man.
They're called summoner dongs, man.
Grand horn on head. But yeah, so like I wasn't sure how to read that. Like they clearly weren't pointing it out. So like maybe Hrothgar always had access to that, but I've heard the rumor mill start up about Hrothgar and Vera finally getting around to getting hats. And I wasn't
Mhm.
sure if maybe this was true. This was validation of that or not.
I think it's harder to get. I think it was harder to get hats on Vieira than it was
Those
Hrothgar.
ears, man.
Clipping.
Yeah. So because I feel like the summoner horn is would have probably have. I think they were already on there. Because they're just like headbands with a horn. So
Yes.
they could get around stuff like that. Because I think the summoner horn could also work on the Vieira as well. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to. I mean, I have to load up the game again at some point in time because I'm behind on story. When 6.5.
Speaking of story, we have to update the meme now. It's no longer
yeah.
Heavensward, right?
No longer just Heavensward.
Nope.
It is now a. Have you ever played the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn with a free trial that lets you go up to level 70, and play the entirety of the award-winning expansion Stormblood.
Stormblood, yep.
No.
No, I think we do keep the award-winning Heavensward expansion
and
with Stormblood.
Additionally,
Yes, we do actually still want to lean into Heavensward.
It's insane. That is an insane amount of content for a free trial. All right.
I understand that you are gimped in some small way in the trial is what you can do, but the sheer amount of content is incredible. And at this point, with that ending, they can't ever increase it again, surely.
You're like the amount that you're gimped is just not really that much existent if you're just literally going in there to play the story.
No, yeah, I agree with you. Like this is like you're gimped if you want to do like a bunch of social aspects of the game. If you're there for the story and just getting through, that's an incredible amount.
It is
of
so much
free experience.
hours and hours and hours.
You literally because at this point in time, all the dungeons are duty actionable, or where they all have NPCs, so you wouldn't have to even run with anybody. You could literally play the game solo.
I hadn't even considered, but yeah, despite talking about it earlier, that's entirely true.
So, yeah. So it's just ridiculous. There's hours upon hours upon hours of fucking story in this game that is just free. It's so
actually
dumb.
incredible.
And you get access to the jobs or whatever. You get access to like the Heavensward jobs and the Stormblood jobs or whatever. So you get access to Red Mage when you hit level 50. Like fucking A.
Enjoy that. It's gonna be so good.
Yep.
Yeah. They'll also rip your eyes.
Yes, also rip your eyes. Yeah.
Rip your.
Yeah. Red Mage, Samurai, Monk 2. Wait, no, that last one's not real.
And then it happened. It happened.
Then he walked out.
Yoshi P called out to the stage. The one, the only, Phil Spencer.
Genuinely surprised to see him, must be said.
And it was so weird. Phil Spencer came out on stage. He had this gigantic fucking bag of cash, and he just handed it over to Yoshi P and was like, "We need 14 on Xbox." And Yoshi P was like, looked over at fucking Kiryu-san and was like, 2 thumbs up. He was like, yes.
That's funny.
And seriously, it can't be understated how big that bag was.
and Phil Spencer with his very glazed over eyes that looked like he was high as a fucking kite was like, hey guys, Final Fantasy XIV on Xbox, boys, yeah, 6.5, yeah, woohoo.
So genuinely, it's
so out of place there.
It took, God, he did. It took 10 years, but hey, on both consoles now, both big boy consoles.
Yay! So then the biggest happened after that, right? There's other content that'll be happening
Oh,
as a collaboration.
oh, I forgot about that.
Oh
It's
yeah,
the
man!
biggest hub.
Holy shit! Final Fantasy XIV being absolutely helped up by this game. It's nice to see games looking out for little indie adventures like 14.
Man, you like this is a big change for 14, man. Like it, Fall Guys. Like
Yo.
I mean, like there's no bigger game out there. Like
Yeah, seriously, big ups to Fall Guys for looking out for the little guys.
yeah,
Oh,
fucking.
God.
Those
So,
outfits are so fucking cute, though.
There's a Fall
I
Guys
wish to be a
collaboration.
Goobu.
Yeah, there's a Fall Guys collaboration, and it works both ways. So there are 14. There are Final Fantasy 14 costumes for the little beans in Fall Guys, and in 14 we are getting a new Golden Saucer event where you hear it, where our Fall Guys but with our characters.
It looks like it's actually going to be really fun for a couple
Yeah.
runs. I don't know how long it'll be fun for, but for those first few runs, it'll be a good time.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
already have the jump puzzle, jump race puzzle
Yes.
in the Golden
Yeah.
Saucer, and like every summer there's the one on the beach, right, in Costa
Yeah,
del
there's-
Sol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were a lot of pieces in place for this, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, this event probably was in the works ever since Yoshi P talked about how there was a new Gold Saucer update for Heavensward or for Endwalker or whatever. So
Oh,
back
yeah.
even before Endwalker came out, they were like, "All right, 6.5, we got a collaboration with Fall Guys at some point in time. We need to set aside resources to make this wacky as fuck jump puzzle type multiplayer thing."
That's probably true.
So yeah, it looked pretty cool. I mean I probably will download Fall Guys when this fucking collaboration hits.
It's free.
Just to fucking fuck around in it.
No.
It's free, but then you look at the battle pass and then it's not
Yeah.
free. So there's that. Shit, I mean, come on, guys. We got Xbox now. I am ready for Xbox people to play 14, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm
welcome
not-
back. Because the last they played Final Fantasy 11. They get to play this MMO. Hooray!
Yeah. I'm ready for them not to raise my characters in in dungeons.
Yeah,
Ready for X Sprouts is what Seaver, I guess.
X Sprouts.
X Sprouts.
Good name.
I'm ready for our servers to get absolutely fucking blasted.
Square Enix, listen to me. You cannot 10, 11 at this point, years on, tell us you are not prepared for the influx of people that is about to hit 7.0. I just won't believe it. You are going to have the highest population you have had in the game's history.
Yep.
Well, logically speaking, it should end up being that way. I expect things to be in position, and you're going to need them there for
Yeah.
a couple months. So, just putting it out there for when you inevitably say this, and I inevitably get mad at you.
Well, I imagine they'll go back to instances and stuff while they
Yeah,
sort everything out.
Oh yeah,
They've been
yeah.
successful since Stormblood, so
I still think instances are in the game still.
Oh,
So I don't think they. I think in some areas they didn't take them out. And those are just the areas that are like have like where everybody fucking goes.
Ulda.
I don't even know if Ulda anymore. People, we've I think we've gotten out of the Ulda situation, and everybody's.
Oh,
just
the
like,
RP is.
Yeah. Well, okay, for Balmung. All right, for Balmung.
Balmung is his own thing now.
But yeah, I mean, I can't wait. It's coming out summer 2024. We're back to summer releases for our expansion, boys. Man,
yeah.
I can't wait for all of the people to complain about how long it's going to be between 6.55 and and the expansion. They're
I'm
like,
sure
there's
it's
nothing
already
to fucking
started.
do. Yeah, they're like, there's nothing to do, and I'm like, Yoshi P says every time, play another game.
It's okay. Play another game. Or make your own fun.
Oh, yeah,
True,
yeah, make
true.
it fun. There's variant dungeons in the game to do variant dungeons. I mean, like there's so much stuff to do now. Yeah. Well, that's our news for the week.
Yeah.
Phil playing Final Fantasy 14 rating and being told about PlayStation mechanics, and he's like very fucking old, and he's like, I'm tired of this. And I think in the in that picture, there's a picture below where they replaced the PlayStation mechanics with Xbox symbols. So that's funny. Yeah. What are you guys doing this week?
The same. Probably. Oh, with an addition of Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well. I mean, we're gonna have a thing before Baldur's Gate 3 comes out.
Oh.
Yeah, because we have a thing on we have an episode on the 1st.
Oh yeah.
We're doing this late.
I go back to my original statement.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure what I'm doing this week. I mean, there will be Diablo played. I might check out Path of Exile. I doubt it, but it's a possibility that I do that. I'm enjoying all of these ARPGs, whether they be Borderlands, Diablo. I think I played Ragnarok with Ali for a bit, and now, Diablo 3 and 4. So I might as well just add another one to the list. Why not?
Another one.
Why not?
And of course, I will at some point, if not this week, then next week, be resuming, not starting, Cold Steel 4.
Yeah, finally.
Because I do need to get back to that.
Yeah, I mean,
if I can find a good week where my hours are low, which actually is getting harder every week, I will just try to absolutely run through it, because this is a formality playthrough. I already know the talking points.
Now Sly's gonna end up beating it before you will, man.
Very possibly, actually.
Actually, I don't know about that. He plays this game like once a week. So.
Oh yeah, when I sit down to play this, it'll take me all of maybe a week to beat it, so.
Yeah. Speaking of Sly and them, if everything goes well, we will be having him on next week. Him and Lavrin on to talk about it's a Monster Hunter Rise retrospective. Talking about everything that Rise had to offer. Seeing as it is now finished. And looking forward to what Capcom comes out for the next Monster Hunter game. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, if you made it this far, make sure to hit like and subscribe. Yeah, we will see you guys actually pretty soon, since we're recording this late. I gotta get this uploaded super quickly. Yeah.
Good.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Before you go, remember to like, comment, and sub to us. Not only does it help out the channel and let us know what you're into, but it also makes you 100% cooler than everybody else. I checked with Aqua. It's definitely true.